19-year-old Jackson Rutland stole the cremated remains of his ex-girlfriend's mother so he could sell it to buy some drugs. The ex said she left her home in the 1000 block of Augusta Road in Warrenville, South Carolina, at around 10 p.m. on the 11th of October to visit a friend and spend a night there. While she was away, at around 5:40 a.m. the following morning, Jackson texted his ex and told her he had taken her mother's ashes from her home. When the woman returned home, she found the rear door busted in and the home ransacked. She told police that her mother's ashes had been tampered with and some were spread on the floor. Jackson had allegedly swapped the remains to sell to buy heroin, although it's not clear how or why he thought he could sell the ashes for cash. Aiken County Sheriff Captain Eric Abdullah said that he's never heard of anything like it. At around 11 p.m. on the 13th of October, Jackson was arrested. He's charged with destruction, desecration and removal of human remains as well as burglary. He remains at the Aiken County Jail. 18-year-old Elijah Persons is behind bars after allegedly raping, robbing and torturing a college student in South Alabama early this month. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office said that Elijah knew the woman he's accused of attacking and had planned to meet her at Sam's on the 4th of October, roughly 15 miles northwest of Mobile. The woman was waiting in the car when a masked man wearing a hoodie and a bandana over his face got into her car, where he raped and sexually tortured her at gunpoint. The victim contacted the police, who developed Elijah as a person of interest. After questioning him, confiscating his phone and running a digital analysis on it, they named him as their only suspect, and on the 14th of October, officers went to his workplace to arrest him. Elijah fled on foot, but after a brief pursuit, they took him into custody without incident. Elijah is held at the Mobile County Jail, and he's charged with resisting arrest, attempted to elude, robbery, sodomy, rape, and sexual torture. 34-year-old Mark Newbury is accused of sexually assaulting a woman. The incident occurred on the 6th of October at the Dollar General parking lot at 3186 Harrison Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio. The victim told the authorities that as she was leaving the store, she held the door for the man behind her. She said the man then followed her to a car, saying that she was attractive and inquired about her marital status. She told Mark that she was married, and without warning or consent, he kissed her on the neck, grabbed her breast and smacked her buttocks while standing behind her. The authorities said the victim was able to get into the car and drive away. Mark was then taken into custody. While questioned, Mark denied touching the woman. When confronted with the store surveillance footage, he did not comment and requested a lawyer. He was booked into the Hamilton County Justice Center in Newbury and faces 1 count of sexual imposition. A judge set his bond to $200. DNA found on a toothbrush has helped authorities solve a 16-year-old cold case. On the 10th of October 2022, the authorities in Aurora, Colorado charged 45-year-old Salvador Hernandez Morales with first-degree murder and sexual assault in the 2006 killing of Francisca Pereira Dominiquez, who was 42 when she was killed. Salvador was linked to the slaying after his DNA was found on a toothbrush that matched the semen found at the crime scene. Salvador and Francisca were roommates at the time of her death. The case came to light on the 1st of July 2006 when friends went to Francisca's apartment, located at 12,612 East Kansas Drive in Aurora, Colorado, after they were unable to reach her. They knocked on her door but there was no answer. Then they discovered that her door was unlocked, which was unusual. So they went inside and found Francisca dead, laying on her back in the bedroom floor covered in blood. She'd been stabbed once in the stomach and was sexually assaulted. Witnesses said it appeared that her shorts were placed on her in a way that it looked like they were put on by someone else, and torn and bloody underwear were found about 2 feet away from her. A neighbour of Francisca told police that she heard a lot of bumping and running through the apartment above her between 11:30 a.m. and noon that day, saying it sounded like people struggling or wrestling. The neighbour told police she also saw Francisca's roommate, who was later identified as Salvador, leave the apartment in a hurry at 1 p.m. The man drove a white Ford Explorer and often wore a white cowboy hat, multiple witnesses said. Investigators at the time found phone records belonging to Salvador under a sofa cushion, and he was quickly identified as a suspect in the killing. The police located and impounded the white Ford Explorer the following day. A search of the vehicle revealed a white cowboy hat, photos of Francisca and official paperwork for Salvador, who was from Mexico but in the US legally at the time. Police later tracked down his employer and learnt that he had not shown up for work shortly after her death and likely had left the United States for Mexico. The case went cold until last year, when detectives submitted a blue toothbrush found in Francisca's bathroom for DNA testing. Investigators found the DNA from the toothbrush matched the DNA found in the semen collected from Francisca's deceased body after she was sexually assaulted. The authorities said at a news conference on the 13th of October that the case's early police work, advances in DNA testing technology, and a more recent dedicated effort to take on and reinvestigate cold leads led to the charges against Salvador. Salvador is believed to be in Mexico currently, and the authorities will seek to have him extradited and returned to the US to face the charges.